Hey Mama, how you doing?
Hello. I'm great. So lovely to see your beautiful face and hear your voice as always.
So as you know, I'm making some videos, kind of just talking to people about how they're coping over this time of coronavirus. And you were one of the people that always brings so much wisdom into my life. So I'm hoping that we can share some of that with some other people through these videos. So yeah, so how are you doing over this time? How are you coping with everything?
Well, I found that every day is different. Every day brings very new emotions and new learnings. And today has been an amazingly happy day for me because it's the first time that actually our complete 24 hours lockdown has been released.
You
I
keep
know.
calling it lockdown for everyone else.
Well, it's interesting. It's like a Freudian slip because one of the things that actually I think that I would like to share is about fears, and for me the biggest fear that came out from all of this, from the basement during this time, is the fear of being locked up in the prison.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe that's what comes out. So, but today it's been a great day because I was allowed for the first time to go out without looking around and watching for the police car. And I smelled the beautiful flowers, and I bathed in the sun, and I ran, and it was just such um, a joy. And in fact, one of the things that I've so benefited from this time is just awareness of how important it is to cherish and appreciate with gratitude what we've got at the time when we have it,
Yeah.
and not wait until we have it taken away from us. So I hope that I will carry it for all my life, this more appreciation of being present with the smallest flower, with the birds, and fresh air. Because when I went for a run, I was literally the only one outside, which was just so beautiful, so peaceful and still. So it's been a happy day. But as you know, I also had a very um, low days, and in fact some days I was sobbing my heart out. But I also, as you know, I treat um, all the emotional cleansing as beneficial. So the sobbing out, it was more like a release and letting go.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, as you know, I have been a Course in Miracle students for over 25 years. So I know it's the core of my belief that every moment we have a choice between love and fear, and whether we are hostage of fear or hosts to love is our choice that we make. And in fact, another thing that I'm very it's a core of my belief is the fact that we are here not to chase for love or chase perfection or improvement of getting more or fulfilling ourselves, but quite opposite, is to remove all the blocks from the awareness of love's presence. And those blocks are fears and limiting beliefs. So I think for all of us, because I've been, dealing with the clients online and with talking with friends, I feel that all of us have had all our deepest fears very much brought to light because we had time to go within, to reflect. And as you know, I call it the basement. It's only when we go in the basement of our subconscious mind, we can see exactly what are the core fears that run the show for us, that control us. So it's been very interesting, powerful time for me, and very healing.
I think because for all of us, we haven't been able to distract ourselves with all of the things that we've previously been able to distract ourselves with, whether that's, going out or working all the time, or even with certain addictions, whether we realize that they're addictions or not, numbing the pain. But I think now, especially for those of us that are even by ourselves as well, you really have to delve within and look at why those emotions are coming up. For me, when I've been feeling stressed and emotional during this time, I've instead of, you know, turning to a substance or something to distract myself, I've had to just sit with the emotions and meditate on them. And then you really ask yourself, well, why are these emotions coming up? What do they mean? And then you're actually able to heal them. And like, as you know, I've had so many kind of life-changing guidance through this time because of connecting to myself on that deeper level. And actually, I think nature really does that as well. When we're out in the nature, I feel like we're able to connect to ourselves on a deeper level. So that's, you know, that's definitely something as well that for me, I feel like I'm going to just enjoy being in nature even more so than before. And it's so important for me to now make sure my environment is surrounded by nature. And and I think in terms of like a societal thing, I think we'll all respect nature a lot more, I hope, after this whole thing dies down, because we are all realizing how healing it is for all of us.
Absolutely. I think that everybody is I mean, even I was talking to your father today, and I was just thinking, where, you know, where would we like to retire and live? And I actually really thought the best would be somewhere in South America, in Amazon, just growing your own vegetables and just be away from this busyness. So I think that we all are just coming down to awareness what is important and what keeps us alive. It's not the chasing for more, the greed, the power, but actually a connection with ourselves and with each other, and just connection to the beauty of what Mother Earth can offer us. So yes, I mean, I saw you thriving in this process. Actually, you've been really grounding yourself, and I think that we all have had an opportunity to do that, to just go within and ground ourselves. And actually, one thing that for me has been a very, very important awareness is how important is to validate all the stages of our emotional being. Because definitely the way I grew up, and I think it's common for all of us, especially, you know, being speaking from the point of a therapist, is that we all have been allowed to be only with the happy emotions. So we can be only smiling and happy, and when we are angry or fearful or raging or in pain, that's something to avoid. And a lot of the time we don't even like to see the truth, because we don't know what it means and what it will bring for ourselves. And I found that I've been facing in my face and dropping deeply into the fears, and I allowed all the kind of vibration, emotional vibration that the fear came for me, allowed it, and whatever it manifested itself, but it was like validating myself by being present with whatever was going on for me. And I was coming out on the other side just healed of it. So you know, we need validation and acknowledgement from everybody else, but I think that we don't really validate ourselves a lot. Wow. So it brought definitely for me the importance of giving myself permission to be however I choose to be, not labeling myself what it means that I'm bad or wrong or not spiritual enough or not there yet, and just accepting with total presence and unconditional kindness, loving kindness, whatever we go through. So instead of expecting it from somebody else, we can definitely give it for oneself. So that's what I really learned.
That's a huge one. Because I think all of us so much in life, and I think that's why even a lot of like romantic relationships suffer, because so much of the time we're not looking within ourselves to make ourselves happy or healed or whatever. We're looking for other people to sort it out for us, or other things to sort it out for us. So, you know, it's maybe the harder way is to actually put the responsibility on yourself, but it's also the most empowering way to then start to heal your life.
Absolutely, absolutely, I found myself in the place where um, not only that I actually allowed myself to sit in that emotion, but I could actually transcend it. And another thing that came out for me is that the fact of how much we value ourselves based on comparison to others and on opinion of others. And I actually really saw that we are all like a tiny piece of a big puzzle.
Yeah.
So our purpose here, or our greatness here, and the fact that we are essential here and we are so significant and matter, is not how big we are. We don't have to be the whole picture, but actually how unique and perfect we are just in our imperfection. Every shape on the puzzle is different, and but yet it makes, without one piece, the picture is not finished. So it's really very important to realize that we create this world by just taking awareness and responsibility for what we vibrate. We create with our vibration. So instead of having an opinion and judgment and blame and pointing fingers and running away or fighting against and all of that, it's such a waste of energy and time, and it actually, the most important harm of it is that it keeps us all in a space of fear and war. Whereas if we just stop comparing, stop blaming, stop having these judgments on the world, but taking responsibility for our peace, the whole world will be completed with love. So yeah.
And I think also in terms of that, I think it directly related to coronavirus, I think it's important for us to all, again, connect to ourselves rather than taking in everyone else's opinion on what is happening around the world, because really none of us know for certain what's going on. So if you take in someone else's opinion who says that we're not going to go back to normality until 2021, that will then just, you'll take that in and just be vibrating with so much fear that won't be benefiting your life in any way. And really that's just one person's opinion, but you just need to connect your own intuition to guide you with everything in life. But especially during this time, I think it's very easy for us to be guided by the fear, because we're constantly hearing on the news and other people's negative opinions about what's going on. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make these videos, because I wanted to obviously acknowledge everyone's emotions during this time, and for everyone who's watching to recognize that they're never alone and that we're all going through this together. But at the same time, to also allow yourself to acknowledge that there is some positives that are coming out of this, even though there is suffering. I'm not diminishing that, but like there is definitely positives that are coming out of this. And yeah, using your own guidance to guide you is definitely one of the things, and then you can attract more positive opportunities into your life, I believe, in that way, not just now but even after this whole thing calms down.
Yes, I mean, that my work started as a therapist, started with awareness of the power of our mind, and that's where our responsibility is. And if we want to change the world, we have to change how we see the world, because we create with our images. And I love, I think it was Mother Teresa sort of said that she doesn't want to fight for peace. She wants to be in peace, and she will be walking the peaceful walk rather than fighting against to protect the peace. And I think that whenever we are opposing anything, whether it's anything that we resent or we don't accept, we vibrate with the energy of negativity that actually feeds whatever we don't want. So we are actually what we resist persists. So it's, for me, actually, I don't know how much time we have, but one thing that really helped me is, you know, that I've been a shaman as well, and you know, I've traveled in Peru, in Amazon, and I had this beautiful message from one of the shamans from actually Colombia, and it really warmed my heart, because she actually reminded me that absolutely we all go through the stages, and this is the message from the kind of elders, ancestry line of wise men, and it said that yes, there will be a lot of suffering, there will be a lot of hardship, but there will be a lot of abundance and a lot of freedom. And one of the responsibility for every single one of us, especially light workers and light holders, is the fact that we have to be aware that yes, the fear comes, horrible energy just kind of takes over your body and your mind, but your responsibility is to be vigilant, to be aware of it and transcend it and let it go, knowing that it's not yours. Just let it go, because the power, the responsibility for all of us is to vibrate in our heart, connecting to the love that we all are, and just go back to the heart. So I just, whenever I do my work, I just connect to my heart. I actually connect to Mary Magdalene and the love, the true Christ story of love, and I just connect to my heart, and I just breathe in love and out, and I spread it to the world, and immediately I feel so much happier and better and freer. So that's what our role is now. That's what we have to do, and at least that's what I've learned. That's what helps, and what my purpose is, and what keeps me smiling, and seeing your beautiful face as well, and being able to speak to you and see you, and having the loving connection with people, you know, with my children and my husband.
Yeah, I feel
and my friends.
to connect like this. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Mum. I know that will have been so helpful. And I just, you know, hearing you speak and stuff, it just makes me feel so grateful that not just now during the coronavirus time, but always you've been teaching me to connect to my truth and to my own intuition, and use my own, you know, that as my guide in life, which I don't know if as many people have been lucky enough to have parents that tell them to have that as their guide, as opposed to anything exterior. So thank you so much for that. And I think that will be really helpful for others during this time as well. And, you know, hopefully this can be a start for a lot of people of using their intuition and their heart as their guide in life. So yeah, thank you so much. I love you so much.
And thank you for hosting all of that and spreading the light and truth to the world. I love you.
I love you.